Hey guys, so today I'm going to show how you print Drypoint intaglio. First things first, you're going to want to get a photo and print it out. Also, ideally you would reverse it. And then what you're supposed to be doing, which I forgot to record, is that you have to take your plate, put it on top of the photo, and then scratch the lines to make the image. I forgot to record this when I did it, so it's kind of already done. But basically, you just kind of grab anything metal, and then you just scratch the top of the photo, and the more you scratch in one area, the darker that area is going to be. And wherever there's not, it's just going to be all white out. It's going to be lighter. So yeah. Something that I do afterward is that I try and get the press thing ready. And what I do is that I grab a piece of paper to put on top of it. I tape it down to make sure it doesn't move at all. It's just easier that way, and it's kind of it's like one less thing to worry about. After that, I then take the piece of paper that I'm going to be printing the image on, and I trace over it. So that way I know where to put the paper on. And then after I do that, I come back and I bring the plate with me. And I trace it in. It should be like at least like an inch away from the border, like on all sides at the very least, so that way you have room to like write down like at the title, the who made it and the year, and also with the number for the print. And then after all that, I get ready to actually color in the plate. The two colors that I'm using is yellow and green. Those are the colors I have. I put on gloves so that way I don't get my hands dirty, because this ink is very dirty. And then, so how I put the ink on is that I just grab like a palette. Well, I have a palette knife for one of them, but it's kind of all covered in grains, so I ended up using a little piece of cardboard that I had from the backing of like my watercolor paper to use as a replacement. It works great. You know, use what you have. I could have just gotten another palette knife, but this is what I decided to do. And then once I kind of have it generally laid out in the area that is going to be that color, I then go in with a paper towel and then like kind of scrub off any extra ink that might be in there, and so which can be used to help line up some areas, and it can also kind of help just spread the ink around in general. And then once I'm done with the yellow, I move on to the green, since it's mostly going to be green except for the chair. In case you're wondering why I'm doing a chair, is because I was trying to do one based off of the song "The Chair" by George Strait. It's probably not my best print that I did for the semester, but you know, I needed to record one, and this is the last one that I had. So yeah. And once again, I am just spreading the green all over the background. And I'm also trying to put in some of the little areas. I'm going back with a palette knife to like get it in between where the yellows is. And I'm also kind of like fixing up or putting more ink where I think I might need it. I'm not really minding if the colors get a little bit blended, because I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to fix that. And then once I am happy with the amount of ink that I have, me personally, I take off my gloves, and then I grab a piece of paper, and then I get ready to move it onto the presser plate. I gotta be really careful not to get my hands dirty here, so yeah. I just use like just a paper towel. And then I place onto the little trace that I made, and I try to put it in as close as possible, because I'm not very good at being precise, so sometimes it is like half a centimeter off. Alright, once I get all of that done, I then get ready get the watercolor paper ready, which is basically, I just grab the paper. You can also cut it down to size if you need it. I personally did not. And then you take the paper and then you just spray it with, you got to get the paper wet, so I just grabbed a water bottle and I just sprayed it all the way until it is thoroughly soaked. And then I take another paper towel, a clean one, and then I just make sure to spread that water everywhere so that way everything's even. It's like spreads evenly, I guess. I'm still kind of new to this, so yeah. I might be messing up something here, but this is what I do. This is my first semester doing prints, so yeah. And then once I think it is wet enough, I then take it over to the press, and then I once again try to put it as closely as possible to the outline that I have. And at least for me, it's easier if I start from the very top and then lay it down from there. It's just easier for me to make sure that like it doesn't move whenever I tried doing it to the side a couple times. It sometimes wobbles when I do that. Well, once I have the paper down, I grab another brown paper and I lay it on top of that. And then I grab a heavy cloth and I lay that on top of the brown paper. And then another one, it's not as heavy as the first one, but yeah. Basically, it's just to put like more pressure, I guess. And then once I got all that laid onto it, I then get ready to actually press press it into the image. One thing that I didn't really show is that I actually had to fix the press, and I didn't realize that you couldn't really see very well. But basically, like, I couldn't get it to move, so I had to loosen it up, and basically I had to lower the main wheel, and then there's 2 screws on the side for each side of the machine. It took a little trial and error, but I eventually get to the point to where it can not easily move, because like there is supposed to be at least some resistance, because that means it actually is rolling on the image. It takes, again, it just takes like a little trial and error. I didn't have to try it too much this time, thankfully, but like I have tried like 10 times before and like still have to like either add more pressure or lessen the pressure. And once that is all done, I pick up the whole thing with the lever and then I just spin it make sure it all spins onto the opposite side and it gets fully rolled. I don't go all the way, I just make sure it's far enough to where it got through the whole plate. Maybe a little bit more just to be on the safe side. And you can release the lower back down the plate, the whole bench thing, but for me, just to make sure the image gets fully transferred, I like to just go backwards. I don't know, it just brings me peace of mind. Is it the best thing to do? Probably not, but it makes me feel like I'm actually getting the work done properly. And then once that's done, all I need to do is just take off everything. I put it like under it so that way it's like easy for me to grab onto. I'm not like having to stretch to go and reach it. Also, when you're doing this, you should replace the brown paper for every print, because it can get messy and it can mess up your paper in case like an accident happens or something. And then I carefully take off of the plate and I check the image. This is how it turned out. I do end up once I review the image, I see if there's anything that needs to be fixed. I do end up fixing the background in the back there because it gets a little bit messy. Here are all the 5 prints that I had made with this one. I think it turned out fine. It's probably not the best one that I had made this semester. It's definitely not my favorite one, but it's the one that I had that I could record. That's gonna be it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!